Audio test 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alrighty, back looking at coins, companies, and or commodities here in the economy, back on the EngineeringRobo channel. Here live. Now let's swiggity swap back over to Bitcoin to be seen on the screen. Some interesting price action so far. Sideways, extreme volatility around these levels here visualized. Not necessarily significant support levels per se, though they are correlating with highs and lows quite nicely. These horizontal dashed blue levels are 2017 all-time high and sort of like a swing high relative to it. $19,800 per Bitcoin is that 2017 all-time high, a psychological level that we have just been interacting with in a more significant manner, specifically throughout August here. Recently, it is overhead as resistance, though it is not necessarily a significant support or resistance level. It is a psychological level to consider and is interesting to watch while we interact with it. Down below, another blue level, dashed horizontal level, is just a swing high relative that occurred back in 2017 there. So another psychological level to consider, minimal significance, and you're not eager to jump in and out at those levels at the moment. In terms of these dotted horizontal levels here, it would appear these are just sort of like key levels to consider, semi-similar to these 2017 levels. At the moment, they do not correlate with the weekly candle strategy that we implement to determine our significant support levels used for our 20% support-based investment ratio. At the moment, these are kind of just key levels to be considering as well that do seem to be correlating quite nicely. In the fear zone, which we will go to in a moment, we are to be accumulating Bitcoin in strategic sort of like portions here with a longer term uptrend in mind based on the soon to be revealed fear zone. Buying Bitcoin pretty much under pretty sure like $30,000 or $40,000 is a bullish buy opportunity. And right now we are just seeing where this extreme volatility during these lows kind of takes us here. So if we were to redo these levels, if I were to get rid of these dotted orange levels here, I'm going to keep the 2017 sort of like swing highs here visualized, the all-time high and the swing high relative to it. Those are interesting psychological levels that still seem to be correlating with us today. Though in terms of a significant support level to consider, technically zooming out here to the weekly chart, we look for I look for in my strategy here at the time it occurred. We are looking for weekly candle bodies to be interacting with the same sort of price level here. Obviously, support and resistance applies to an area, a much more broad range of prices rather than a specific exact number. Though with the weekly candle body interaction strategy, finding 3 weekly candles that interact with each other here, it would appear $19,359 per Bitcoin is the most significant support level present, which you can use for your 20% support-based investment ratio, because we have a candle body coming from November of 2020 interacting with 2 candle bodies throughout 2022 here, significant enough for us to see interaction with this price even more recently. So this would be the only kind of level here potentially that fits that strategy. Zooming back in, we can see how we correlate with it on the daily chart here. Obviously, that 2017 all-time high visualized there, perhaps it is in the way, though I do believe the psychological level is nice to see. Is nice to see. I like looking at it, in my opinion. I live in front of these charts, so to make it more interesting, that's what we have there. Though the most significant level to consider, 19,000 $359 per Bitcoin is my horizontal level here of support here for us. Technically, though, it has been resistance ever since would appear just about the 25th of September. We need a daily candle opening and closing with a wick and body above it for us to reconfirm it as support. You can try your best to ignore the 2017 all-time high. Bearish Robos in play though, so we need bullish Robos to return for us to be more comfortably bullish on some gains to the upside here. What appear resistance did form here locally around $25,000 per Bitcoin, just beneath it, a psychological level to consider. And we have this overhead downtrend line as well, suggesting the more sort of like midterm downtrend still in play. Sideways and or downside is to be considered until we have truly solidified this bottom, forming though here in the soon to be revealed fear zone. We can be picking up Bitcoin in these lows, knowing that an uptrend will resume eventually when and only when it is ready. But yeah, this is the new Bitcoin chart moving forward. These are the most significant levels to consider. Try to ignore those 2017 levels, but significant support found above $19,359 per Bitcoin here could lead us back up to 24K. Breaking free from it could get us back into this spooky range between like 26 and 32. Though overhead, watch out for $34,655 per Bitcoin, the significant horizontal level that correlates with the weekly candle body strategy. So we go with the flow of crypto, watching out for our Robos, waiting for support confirmations to invest that 20% support-based investment ratio. We're looking for bullish buy suggestions to invest that 50% EngineeringRobo-based investment ratio. And then once we are free from this overhead downtrend line, we can invest that 30% downtrend line based investment ratio. Locally, in terms of speaking of a downtrend line here to consider, if we were to just throw one into existence. No, not a huge fan of it. Not really like it. But I mean, technically, that is a downtrend line. But not the best. Let's see down here. Kinda. I mean, you can see it correlating. Okay, you got a hill there, sorta-ish. Swing high there. Swing high there. Fake out. Resistance at the moment here for us. Though not a huge fan of it. Yeah, these local downtrend lines here are to be used at your own discretion. I mean, if we were to visualize a super local minimal price action downtrend line, this could be one to consider. Minimal significance, in my opinion. I am waiting for the overhead downtrend line here, suggesting that much more broad midterm downtrend in play. But we go with the flows of crypto's extreme volatility here during times of extreme fear. Though accumulate here during times of extreme fear, we go, oh no, when Robo says there's FOMO, YOLO. So on this chart as well, we have 2017 all-time highs visualized. This is the BLX chart. This is to be used just to see like a longer-term significance of Bitcoin's price action. As this is the lengthiest Bitcoin chart, I believe. So 2017 all-time highs. We entered the FOMO zone in November of 2017, the end of November there, traded upward, experienced 130% in gains over just about 2 months into the FOMO zone, printed that 2017 all-time high, experienced an abrupt rejection downward here out of it. Rather aggressive correction occurred, 84% in downside, proceeded to follow that all-time high FOMO zone interaction, falling into the fear zone on the 12th of November in 2018. Bitcoin proceeded to experience a 45% correction relative to the fear zone there, bringing that 84% all-time high correction to fruition. We traded sideways in the fear zone for over 170 days after that 45% move downward relative to it. Traded upward, out of it, above it, along it, only to return to it throughout March of 2020, experience another 45% correction relative to the fear zone appearing, though only traded within it for over a month. Exiting it yet again, trading upward, breaking previous 2017 all-time highs here throughout November of 2019. The FOMO zone nowhere to be found. As we remember, throughout 2021 here, we get to 30K. Elon Musk got involved, pumped it to 60K, and then he was like, lol, just kidding. It fell back down to 30. Some strangeness occurred. We got back up to $69,000 per Bitcoin, our most recent all-time high. Still noting that the FOMO zone is nowhere to be found. Now we are experiencing our third interaction with the fear zone here since our last FOMO zone interaction, after printing an all-time high as well. This fear zone interaction does suggest perhaps the third bullish buy opportunity for long-term accumulation based on the strategy here. So the 45% correction that occurred twice previously has come to fruition between the 6th of May here, when we fell into the fear zone around 36K at the time, falling just past 2017 all-time highs, printing that 45% correction relative to the fear zone at the moment, though an 84% correction from our recently printed all-time high would bring Bitcoin even further into the fear zone, bringing it down to $10,700, a very scary, dramatic price level to present itself for many, though the most bullish buying opportunity you could ever imagine, in my opinion. And while that is something to consider and keep in mind, it is something, in my opinion, I believe is less likely to occur, as we have not seen the FOMO zone. So the significance of the FOMO zone suggests many longer-term investors taking profits on their investments, longer-term gains. Many more traders will be getting out at these ranges up in the FOMO zone, wherever they may be. An 84% correction would make more sense if we were leaving the FOMO zone from our most recent all-time high, though since we've printed two all-time highs within the same year, it seems more like a continuation pattern occurring rather than a blow-off top reversal, in my opinion. And so at the moment here, during a very different time in the world, different time in the economy, there's trillions of more dollars that exist now out of nowhere. Trillions of them were in crypto not that long ago. Bitcoin alone was $1 trillion. Every other crypto became $1 trillion somehow as well. Where did it all go? So going with the flows here, it would appear FOMO zone still up near $200,000 per Bitcoin. That is going to be a far more reasonable area. You can consider taking profits on your longer-term Bitcoin investments, buying near 20K, selling near 200K. I'm sure you can do the math. But accumulate here during times of extreme fear. Go, oh no, when Robo says there is FOMO. Yo, as we know now, brand new visualized support level, we are looking to get back above 19,359 as we await bullish Robo advisors as well. So yeah, that is Bitcoin still, the new Bitcoin chart moving forward. Let's go over to Ethereum, perhaps. So why don't we make some changes to the Ethereum chart? I bet these are the lines no one's a fan of. Let's reduce these dotted levels, decluster the chart here, it would appear. Let's see first where the support level may be. Oh, this is one. For some reason, it should be solid. There's one right there. but this one can go, that one can go, and technically several of these levels correlate with multiple weekly candle bodies, so that is ridiculous. So how we test the significance of these levels is we see if they are 30% between each other. And I gotta find a balance between these two levels because they are significant, but they don't line up. There we go. Sorry, bear with me here, doing some on the fly live charting. Hopefully, there's no way. Nope, barely. And barely. Okay, well, gosh darn it. I guess this would be the most significant dotted level to consider between these two solid levels. Here would appear overhead $1,419 per Ethereum. Been there, visualized. Technically, it is far more significant than we thought it was. Overhead as resistance, waiting for support confirmations. Visualized down below, kind of just before we got to it. Literally, this box here that appeared, visualized a psychological range that we are hoping to find support along. So far, bouncing along it, though down below, I guess we need another support level here to watch out for, because as there are none. Well, technically, I mean, this would be a level of significance, but I do not believe that is 30%. Nope, barely. But dotted level to consider, perhaps. The next significant support level with 30% between its local correlating level would be somewhere down here. Live on the fly charting. I think we found it. That could be it. I think that might be it. Technically. Coming back, checking it out. Support, support, resistance, fake out, resistance. Unless that would be the more significant level there. Hey, we go with the flows. We make sure the chart's right. There is significant correlation with prices here between 794 and 911, though there are not weekly candles that correlate with my support and resistance strategy here, it would appear. We need 3 weekly candle bodies to line up with each other here in a semi-pleasing manner. Okay, well, perhaps this one can be visualized as potential significance over this one. We can see what that looks like on the daily chart now. One moment, bear with as we re-chart Ethereum. Okay, not bad. I do believe I like that level a little bit better than my previous $622 level there, perhaps. On the daily chart here down below, that's what it would look like. Okay, this is the new and improved, renewed, reused, revitalized Ethereum chart. Less levels to consider. These levels on the screen have more significance than all the other previous. So, going with the flow of crypto and robos, we already established support and resistance levels to consider. Overhead now 1,419 has been there, though it has increased in significance. We're waiting for daily candles to open and close with their wicks and bodies back above it to look for support potentially. Bearish robos in play ever since August of 2022, reconfirming significant bearish robos more recently throughout September here does suggest continued moves downward towards significant support waiting for us. Visualize little box here of nonsense that we are bouncing off of at the moment, just near $1,200, $1,250 perhaps. A box we visualized for no reason, technical level to consider, 1,123. More significance than our box of nonsense down below. We can look for interaction with this level, similar to June and July here of this year, though as we can see, we're not eager to jump in at that level exactly. The more significant horizontal level to consider down below is going to be $733 per Ethereum. That is where you can more comfortably and confidently consider investing that 20% support-based investment ratio if we fail to get back above 1,419, or if we hold along 1,123 in a very notably significant manner. Like we would need several weeks of very dramatic sideways bullish interaction with this level before solidifying support. So technical confirmations during these highly volatile situation, trade more tactically with the strategy, go with the flows of robos, levels, and lines. You don't have to YOLO and lose your mind. Yeah, anyway, okay. You already made like 50%, saw 50% in gains, 49% in upside with bullish robo advisors alone between July and August of this year. You're able to capitalize on 18 to 25% ROI with EngineeringRobo, trading Ethereum. We're waiting for bullish robos to return here as we look for support confirmations. This dashed local down trend line here is just something we visualized. We use you could use at your own discretion. We prefer to use the solid overhead down trend line, suggesting the much more broad midterm downtrend to consider. But bullish confirmations here, seeing 141, 79, and 36% pumps prior to that 50% pump that we just experienced. Bearish robos here, saving us from 30%, 45, and 70% corrections that have occurred, not including the most recent 24% correction that has occurred following bearish confirmations back in August. But this has been Ethereum. We can go to XRP. Oh, and no. Never fear. We go with the flow. We have EngineeringRobo here. Yo. So, obviously, the buy for and moon combination would have allowed you to get in at a price lower than the buy for golden cross combination. But the buy for golden cross combination is my preferred setup for XRP. We also have the super robo advisor present, though nowhere to be found at the moment. But anyway, it would appear we are back beneath previous briefly support, perhaps now returning to resistance if this daily candle that has opened beneath it, if it closes beneath it, resistance has been reconfirmed, you can reduce your support-based investment ratios accordingly, perhaps, and anticipate a short-term correction here, a move to the downside, a pullback. Traders taking profit from this, gains here, 30 cents to just over 50 cents, 55 cents there. Nothing wrong with capitalizing on upside, especially during a bear market. Technically, going with the flows of these confirmations, fundamentally, lots going on for XRP, a little bit above and beyond me. I don't really follow the SEC. It's going to continue to rhyme until it doesn't. But yeah, lots of rumors being heard around the settling of some case, and perhaps a buy the rumor, sell the news situation could play out once the masses figure out what's going on with XRP. So I don't know. We go with the flows of those. A true analyst can seamlessly combine fundamentals and technical components, but me personally, I'm pretty technical, so go by with the chart. Support and resistance. Something that rhymes with art. I don't know. Anyway, resistance reconfirmed overhead if this daily candle closes beneath it. Bullish Robos in play, though, so continued gains until bearish Robos return. Support waiting for us down below 30 cents. Has proved its significance, in my opinion. You were suggested. Oh my goodness, you were suggested to invest along that level throughout July there because we saw the bullish interaction with it throughout June. Returning to it was when ICE was suggesting accumulating along it. 25 cents down below those always and still will be the more significant support level to consider if we plow to and through 30 cents. Dashed downtrend line locally here as we free ourselves from it. An impulse move to the upside played out. You were using that at your own discretion, though, as I mentioned, the overhead solid downtrend line suggesting the much more broad midterm downtrend in play. So we've had a very euphoric run up to these levels that we are currently trading at. So some downside is to be anticipated. But that is XRP. What do we just do? Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP. Do we do XLM? I don't think so. So XLM returning downward here beneath this level. So it's remained as resistance here technically. Okay, watch out for that. Swapping out our Robos, going back to the buy for Moon and Super Robo combination. So lots going on here. If you've been following the channel, following the streams, we've been suggesting this exact situation was going to play out, funnily enough. So bullish Robos coming into play during this sideways here above this key level to consider overhead. Lots going on here. We did anticipate a move to the downside here after bullish Robos returned, still using them to jump in with our 50% engineering robo based investment ratio, heavily considering that ever since they are confirmed, though with several factors in mind, such as not only Bitcoin price action. So if Bitcoin experiences some ridiculous volatility, that does affect every other coin. But more specifically, XLM here, this horizontal level has experienced fake outs throughout its interaction, significant resistance rejections, though here breaking to and through it is rather short-lived multiple times. This is yet another fake out of this level overhead, so perhaps further suggesting its significance as resistance. Not only do we need at least one daily candle opening and closing with wicks and bodies above it, we would need several along with perhaps a bullish interaction with it. So lots has to happen at this 11-cent level overhead for us to solidify it as support, in my opinion. But I do believe it does have the significance necessary to be a support level as it is correlating with the weekly candle strategy. But failure to hold this 11-cent level overhead, technically it remains as resistance. I'm too zoomed in there. Oh, hold on. It remains as resistance as we've yet to have the daily candle open and close, wick and body above it. So, it is yet to be confirmed as support. It is still resistance because we didn't get that daily candle close. Bullish robos in mind though, so continued moves to the upside here can be considered until bearish robos return. We visualize this psychological range that we've been just bouncing off of for whatever reason ever since May, between 9 and 10 cents there, though the most significant support level down below is 8 cents waiting for us if we just fall dramatically through our visualized box, which came into play on the 12th of September there. So watch out kind of for that. We look for these interactions, though we go with the flow of our tactical strategy before we take action. Yeah, anyway, downtrend line overhead in mind, resistance to consider, though bullish robos in play is nice to see. 172%, 214%, 28, 32, 60, 22, and 14% moves to the upside following bullish robo advisors trading XLM. 54, 49, and 50% corrections during the downside here after bearish robos. So we go with the flows of the robos. What about Cardano, perhaps? Or let me know. Feel free to in the comment section, or if you're tuning in from the group chat, I do have that on a different screen. Let me know anything you'd like to see in the stream, any sort of coin, company, or commodity. We can go over it all. I personally like crypto, so we're going to go over that. But anything you'd like to see analyzed can and will be. We'll give it a shot, as that's all we got. But until then, we've got Cardano on the screen here. Bearish robos returning, though the combination of robo advisors I use for Cardano are these ones because they seem to be better in my opinion, though been in a ridiculous downtrend ever since they first confirmed bearish back in it would appear like September there of 2021. Bullish confirmations from this combination of robos allowed EngineeringRobo members to double and a half their money between the 24th of July to the 2nd of September there. And then, as I mentioned, bearish robos coming into play here, saving us from 67, 28, and 45% corrections as they sort of re-flip back into play there. Twice did we experience bullish confirmations during this downtrend. So, I mean, they did attempt to come back into play. Many traders are accumulating Cardano along the downside here, so much so that bullish robos are trying to return, though we just are not. They're just not having it. So Cardano continuing to make its way downward here. Let me just double check if these levels are good, and they are. Okay. So. Yeah, bearish robos here returning yet again. So technically, Cardano not necessarily in the best state. Perhaps something fundamentally can occur to bring it sort of back upward here. Visualized down below yet again a box of nonsense near 40 cents, though significant support waiting for us near 34 cents. That is where we anticipate continued interaction toward. We are just, perhaps hoping for bullish interaction with psychological visualized box or whatever that we've bounced off of previously. So bearish confirmations technically ever since the 26th of August. Even more bearish confirmations now coming into play throughout September. And as I mentioned, resistance overhead 46 cents awaiting for support confirmations. Downtrend line overhead to keep in mind. Once we are free from it, consider that 30% downtrend line investment ratio, then 50% when bullish robos were to return. Perhaps we can get that triple confirmation, super buy 4, and golden cross. Then we double and a half our money. Since then, we've seen supersell after supersell, waiting for significant buy confirmations here. Definitely in a significant downtrend. But these are the cryptos and the currencies. What about Litecoin, perhaps? I don't know. We used to cover Litecoin more often, and we see bearish robos returning. So I do believe this was the combination of robos I used for Litecoin, attempting to come into play during this downside here. Though it would appear bearish robos are just far too overbearing. These super buys coming into play during this downside is nice to see. Something significant might be happening here, though it would appear perhaps manipulation downward still occurring. With this combination of robo advisors, only one of them has entered a bearish state. We would need that second bearish robo in play for us to really be reducing our Litecoin positions accordingly, as bullish robos were confirmed ever since the 10th of September there. Before these were confirmed, though, we were always keeping in mind, since our most recent interaction with EngineeringRobo during this sideways, a 20% correction occurred after bullish confirmations, though eventually 11% in upside played out over the following weeks before a bearish flip occurred. Volatility here, sideways, ridiculous, range of nonsense, only to see bullish confirmations here again locally. Since they were confirmed, a 20% correction has occurred. Watch out for the recovery upward, especially since technically EngineeringRobo is in a bullish state until the second second robo becomes bearish. So we need 2 of our chosen 3 robos entering a bullish or bearish state for us to invest or reduce our positions accordingly. So this has been Litecoin here. So this is how we use EngineeringRobo during times of extreme volatility here, when Bitcoin isn't necessarily trending in any sort of broad direction. We have to be very key with our strategy. And so when EngineeringRobo says Bitcoin is in a bearish state, we have to always keep that in mind when we're seeing bullish robos on other coins and whatnot. Though when we have bullish robos for Bitcoin, we have even more significant correlation with bullish robos on altcoins. The inverse is perhaps true with bearish robos for Bitcoin. Bearish robos on altcoins could suggest not only take profit opportunities, but short positions if you are an advanced trader. You can capitalize on all directions during any market, upward and downward. You can make money as others lose money. For every dollar made, that is a dollar lost by someone. The unfortunate reality of the give and take situation that is trading. Your gains are likely someone else's losses. Though that just how it be, doodly and doodly dee. I don't know, the S&P 500, the daily chart, lower low there locally, not ideal. Weekly chart, interacting with this box of smelly socks here. I don't know, I like visualizing these, potential support forming, minimal significance, obviously. Overhead resistance will be confirmed if a weekly candle opens and closes beneath 38.12. Significant bearish robos in play for the S&P ever since February of this year. More bearish robos returning here locally does suggest more moves to the downside here as we look for support. Key level potentially 32.36, though more significant level 29.52. Downtrend line overhead, uptrend line in mind, as well as the 200 weekly moving average here just down below locally, suggesting that lifetime uptrend intact. The S&P, I do believe, will recover eventually, obviously, but it will take some time here. We're in a recession, if you will, so everything's going to be ridiculous. But I think even with this, even if this wasn't the combination of robos that we use for this, All the other ones are in a bearish state as well. Pretty sure this is what I used for the S&P anyway, but same difference. EngineeringRobo still have been bearish since February. But the Dow and also Jones, I do believe the Cloud Robo was finally used. Maybe? Possibly. I think so. Yeah. So, Dow Jones correlating, currently interacting with support, some levels correlating right now. The 200 weekly moving average, technically above us, but present. A support level to consider forming 29,373. We're looking for significant bullish interaction with it over a period of weeks moving forward. Though down below, the more significant level we are likely heading toward here will be 26,306. As like bearish robos are returning here, it would appear in play ever since February as well. The buy 4 flip is nothing to be excited about. The sell 4 has returned, and another bearish robo is attempting to print. So watch out for that. NASDAQ. Still in a bullish state somehow, giving the overhead downtrend line here, giving it a hard time locally. Watch out for support, though, down below if everything else brings it downward. The 200 weekly moving average at the moment correlating with my 45.23 horizontal level. The DXY, the US dollar, continuing to make ridiculous strides onward and upward here toward 119. That is the level we do anticipate resistance to finally be present. We've been plowing to and through every other level of potential resistance here for us. Overhead 119 is hopefully where this can exhaust. And why I say hopefully is because the DXY supposedly has an inverse correlation with asset prices, including stocks and real estate and crypto. Bullish robo advisors, we used a different combination, but it doesn't make that much of a difference. Bullish robos in play ever since the 9th of August there have allowed, US dollar currency index traders to experience 23% in gains on whatever contracts used. Bullish robos in mind, we do anticipate continued upside, plowing to and through these levels. Though, as I mentioned, that inverse correlation, if we were to consider November of 2021, that would be like roughly around here. Since then, the DXY has proceeded to experience upside. This was around when Bitcoin was peaking at $69,000. As the DXY has gone up, Bitcoin has gone down. So hopefully the DXY can get the heck out of here and come back down to where it came from. Right now it is dominating above like all the other currencies somehow. The pound is down, the euro is down, the US dollar, the monopoly dollar is doing pretty good with this whole energy, gas crisis, but can't get too political. I don't even know what I can or can't say here on YouTube with the censorship monetization situation. So we're going to bring it back to charts here. Looking at gold falling to and through key level to consider. I guess we can declutter the chart here slightly. Fine, perhaps. Oh, alarms going off and whatnot. Okay. So finding ourselves below previous support level, resistance if this weekly candle can close beneath it, 1680 overhead. We're also falling beneath that 200 weekly moving average. Watch out for potentially 1572, hopefully, though down below 1486, the more significant level of support for gold. EngineeringRobo members experiencing 62% in gains throughout 2018 and 2020, 62% in like a year, pretty much, like the end of 2018. Not bad. That's like a weekend in crypto. Though bearish robos in here saving us from just about 10% in gains. So sorry, just about 10% in downside so far. With bearish robos in mind, we are not eager to jump back into gold. But these are the precious and or metals, pretty much. This is platinum below its moving average, fighting along its support level with bearish robos in play. Palladium fighting its moving average, waiting for potentially support down below as bearish robos are in mind. Silver beneath resistance overhead now, 19.81. We need to get back above that to see some support potentially, though below that 200 weekly moving average and with bearish robos present. Watch out for continued interaction toward 13.72. But yeah, I don't know, metals, in terms of metals, I don't know, copper. Copper is a metal. May not be the same precious metal, but it is a metal still, interacting with its 200 weekly. Bearish robos, support down below 2.97. Still waiting for bullish confirmations, downtrend line to consider, sideways and or downside for these commodities and broad market indexes. But I think we are going to come to a close here, perhaps wrap it up slightly. Unless anybody would like to see any sort of stock, coin, or commodity analyzed on the stream, please let me know down below. Though I do believe this has been the EngineeringRobo stream. We're going to probably come to a close here and then be back at it before you know it to do it all again. The newly visualized Bitcoin chart here. 2017 psychological levels that we have visualized here. Try your best to block them out. They are not support or resistance. They are just psychological visualized levels. These orange levels are going to be your significant support and resistance lines. 19,359 is the brand new visualized support level here to watch out for. At the moment, technically, it is resistance ever since the 25th of September. And right now, we are just hoping to get back above it, keeping in mind 2017 all-time high psychological level to consider, though minimal significance in terms of your 20% support-based investment ratio. Let's film a TikTok. Funnily enough, if you want to be present for it, I'm going to film a TikTok video live on the stream. You're not going to see me do it, but I'm going to be doing it, and you can be there in spirit. Let me just set up the chart here for it. I gotta hide this. Okay, perfect. Okay, boom. Okay, we're gonna film a TikTok. Hold on, I gotta double check what this dude's looked like. Okay, we gotta go with a flow of what works. Okay, we're gonna be doing what the trends entail. Let me just double and also check here. We're going to be filming a TikTok for the EngineeringRobo TikTok account. Check us out there. All the links should be in the description. Give us a follow. Give us a share. Like the videos. You may or may not see someone present who may or may not host streams. That you'll have to see on the TikTok channel. Technically, it's on YouTube as well. Both the algorithms are ridiculous, and we're trying to see what works. But okay, I'm going to be filming just a panning shot of the fear and FOMO zones here. See if we can get it. All right. This video is about to be like 5 seconds long somehow. Okay, this is modern marketing and advertising here for you in this generation. It's gonna be just completely ridiculous. Then again, there was no, I guess. Yeah, okay. We're gonna film this TikTok and then wrap it up. Oh, dang it. Hold on. We're in the filming process. We're in the... Okay. TikTok filmed. Will be edited and uploaded as soon as possible. But this has been the EngineeringRobo stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of it. Thank you for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you in the next one. We'll be back before you know it to do it all again. Coins, companies, and commodities. Any and everything. Now until the end. I don't know. Anyway, try to rhyme. Doesn't work all the time. But thank you so much for tuning in. Like the video, subscribe, share. Let me know down below anything you'd like to see in upcoming streams or videos. We hope to see you in the next one.